Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and if you are new to this channel and are interested in amplifying your self-awareness, start right now by hitting the subscribe so you don't miss anything. So let's get started. What are the biggest blocks to attracting a specific person? I know there's a lot of videos out there on this topic, and what I'm going to do is assume that you already know some of the tools, such as law of assumption and live in the end. If not, I'm going to go ahead and link those videos that I've already made about this, which are, how to do it. And I'm also going to put the info cards above. But what I'm assuming by watching this video is you feel that there's something stopping you, right? You're trying, you're going out there, you're doing these things, and it's not working. You are not seeing any sort of change. You're not seeing any sort of desired experience. You're still stuck in that same lacking, or they're somewhere else. You can't get their attention, whatever it is. Now, I looked up, doing the research for this video, some of the videos out there saying instantly change, instantly manifest this person. Now, I feel like that is absolutely possible, but what you need to realize is the word manifestation, a synonym for that would be to reveal. Manifesting is simply revealing what your consciousness level is, what your assumptions are, what your beliefs are. So yes, you can instantly manifest something if you are able to instantly change your consciousness level. So when you think about a consciousness level, which is what you assume the world to be, what you assume your experience in this life is, sure, that's absolutely possible. You can have a paradigm shift. You can have this realization that the things that you were thinking before aren't true. They're just you putting faith in it without any sort of proof. So you can easily shift that. Since it's an internal game, the internal game is the strongest game, the strongest results you'll ever see, but it will take a bit of a delay. So realize that when you're seeing these people talk about instant manifestations, what they're actually saying, an instant reflection of your external world. It's possible, but in this video, I hope to explain to you what it is that is happening in your life while you're trying to do these principles, you're trying to use these tools and resources, but you're not seeing any results. So let's talk about the first block that you might be experiencing when you're trying to attract this specific person in your life. The first block that you might be experiencing is that you are unclear on why it is this specific person that you want in your life in a romantic sense. So what is it? If it's in a romantic sense, is it their attraction level? Is it that you feel better with them? Is it that you feel more whole? Because if it's that idea, if it's a societal pressure, a family pressure, you have to ask yourself, is this actually what you want? Or is it the idea of who you'll be with this person? So let me say that again, because this is crucial. In my life, I know that I have experienced this. I really was infatuated with this person because I thought if I was in a relationship with this person, then I would be something more. And so because I lacked the value in myself, I was trying to use this person outside of me to get validation. And that's never going to work. My newest idea of how to see external validation and how weak it is and how it will never do what you need is if you're dehydrated and you're thirsty and you've been walking, it's a hot day, and you look across and you see somebody drinking a nice cold glass of water. Will that in any way satiate your thirst, in any way help your body get the water it needs? No, not at all. So when you're looking for somebody else to validate those internal pains and internal negligence that you've had of yourself, you'll never actually get it. So you're chasing a shadow, you're chasing your tail. So make sure that with this specific person, what is it that you're attracted to? What is it that you want them in your life for? Because if it is, I feel more whole, this person makes me feel amazing, what you could be seeing is that feeling that you want in your life, they're kind of giving you a boost. That feeling is something that you're actually responsible for, and you're kind of letting them do the legwork. You're kind of letting them go and have that influence on you and thinking, oh man, they're the ones that make me feel that way. I need them. But really, they're giving you a great gift by showing you what is possible in life and the feelings that you're capable of having And you can do that too. You have the ability to look inside yourself and see what is blocking, see what is unhealed, see what is not being valued and neglected by yourself, and go in and make those changes so then you don't need that person. Because that is one big barrier. If you're looking and you see that you need this person, we'll talk about it later, that is a huge red flag that this is not a dynamic that's going to breed a healthy, loving, sustainable relationship. So the second biggest block that you could be experiencing when you're trying to use these tools and you're not seeing the desired results is that this person could actually be a placeholder to perpetuate an emotional addiction. What does that mean? That means when you're going right now and you're trying to get them in your life, do you feel rejected by them? Are you texting them or calling them or bringing in nice things or doing these nice things, going way out of your way to make them feel better, make them feel seen? Because if when you do those things and you're hoping, maybe expecting something for them to do in return and you don't, and you feel rejected, you feel not seen, you feel ignored, every time you think a thought, your body releases a chemical. So if you're feeling around this person when you're trying so hard, you're putting all this effort in, and what you're getting back is, oh man, why aren't they calling me? Why don't they want to spend time with me? Why am I always the one that's reaching out? Why are they ignoring me? You're having that thought, your body's going to release a chemical every single thought. We think between 60 and 80,000 thoughts a day. So think if most of your time and energy is going towards this person and you have a history of rejection, think of how that person is going to help perpetuate that feeling of rejection, that feeling of not being seen, that feeling of being inferior. Has it taken place in your life before? Have you had those feelings? Have you have a history of being rejected, of being not wanted, not being good enough? Whatever it is and whatever it sounds like to you, look and see if that is what is happening right now, because that is very possible a lot of times. And I say this because I have done it. And it is no way to live. It is a way to perpetuate your suffering, perpetuate the wounds, rather than letting that person reflect back where you're still hurting and say, okay, actually, I'm feeling like this person, like I'm not important to them, and that they're not attracted to me. Oh, I remember when I was little or other relationships where I also felt that. And you start seeing this theme and you start zooming out away from the specific person. If this is what's happening, that you're feeding this emotional addiction with them. And the more you push, the more you become obsessed, the more you become infatuated with them, the more it is intensifying this emotional addiction. Again, rejection, inferiority, not good enough, unattractive, not smart enough, not successful enough. Whatever it is, you need to focus on your life in the past. Have you had these feelings before? This is a great opportunity for growth, because if you are experiencing this right now, it is literally sounding an alarm of saying, hey, there's something that you need to take care of. Regardless of whatever happens with that specific person that you're thinking of, you need to heal these wounds so that you will be whole and complete, move back into that reality, no longer separating yourself, because it is a delusion that you aren't whole and complete. Those wounds and that fragmentation in your psyche makes you think that you need somebody else to fill it. And like we already talked about earlier, when you're looking for that external validation in them, not being clear on why exactly it is this specific person, you will go into those emotional addictions and you will continually participate in wounding yourself, because really that wound is asking for your attention to be healed. That's all it wants. It doesn't want to hurt you continuously. It wants attention to be healed. So make sure that this specific person is not perpetuating an emotional addiction, because that absolutely will block you from being able to attract them in your life, because their role is to not be in your life. Not their role in their consciousness, but you having them in your life. That is the dynamic that it's going to set up. You're only going to attract the same level of consciousness, the same vibrational output, whoever's on your station. So if you are in a constant state of rejection, you're only going to be able to attract the people and circumstances in that state of rejection. So remember that. The only way to move out of that is to bring awareness to it, to heal it, and then to evolve to a higher consciousness level. to change the way that you see yourself operating in the world, it's going to change the assumptions you have, which is going to change the beliefs you have, which will absolutely change the behavior and the way you move throughout the world. So the third way that you could be blocking yourself without knowing it, even though you're trying so hard to get this specific person, is by putting them on a pedestal and creating that separation. So no matter how hard you push your desire, you're constantly keeping that separation between you. You're longing more and more and more, sending out the electronic impulse into the universe that you are not with them, they're above you, they are out of your reach. You have this longing, and so you then bring it back because you're having those feelings, you bring it back to you, and that is going to create that electromagnetic signature specific to you that the universe is going to say, okay, that's what you'd like to keep them on a pedestal. You see yourself as inferior. This is some great magical thing that you don't think will ever happen. Okay, well, here are the circumstances that will absolutely keep that assumption, keep that belief, keep that feeling in you alive. So really, if you're in this situation where you see this person as just this end-all be-all, that you have to have them because your life would be so much better with them, well, you're giving them the power, you're giving something and someone's power outside of you, which is not sustainable. You have to realize that it's a mirror example. You are putting yourself inferior as you're making them superior. So use that as a way to reflect, where are you neglecting yourself? How are you making yourself less and making yourself small in your life? Because that belief and that assumption is not true. No one in this world, no matter what your financial status is, your marital status, your career, whatever it is, nobody is superior or inferior to anyone. We are all equal. If you continually keep them on this pedestal and always desire and send your attention, which is where you're going to send your energy, you're going to continually stay in a state of longing. And Neville Goddard says the only way to break the state of longing is by being it now. So this is where you can realize, oh, I see it as this grand miracle that this person would be with me. That's not something that I'm practicing. I'm not living in the end. What would it feel like to have a loving, fulfilling? And then you can go back to that clarity we talked about in number 1. So you have to be very clear. What is it that you're wanting to attract in your life? What is this person? Either they are it, or they're symbolically representing what you want in your life. You want to feel loved. You want to feel valued. You want to feel attractive. Most of these things you're going to have to do. Yes, we are interdependent. So we're not independent completely, but we're not codependent. We're in between. But a lot of these things that we seek in others, we need to be able to provide on our own. Then we'll be able to go into the world and have that electromagnetic signature go out. And then you'll be able to draw the people who are at that level, who love themselves whole and complete, who are not codependent and needy of you. They allow you to be you in the world, and you allow them. You cannot have somebody who is needy and like, oh my gosh, I need this person so much. Oh my gosh, if they came into my life would be so much better. It will not work. That vibration of desperate and longing, I need them. People can feel that, whether you believe in that or not, on a quantum physics level. That is how it works in a time-space reality, not a space-time reality. Most everything we know right now in a Newtonian world is a space-time reality. In a time-space, time is infinite and we are all connected. Everything is connected. No matter if there's physical distance that we see right now, people can feel us. Electric, vibrational way. These messages do go out into the quantum field and people can feel them. So you have to understand what you are broadcasting. Are you broadcasting this person so much better? If I had them, then I'd be more valuable. Because if that's what it is, you need to stop the brakes right there and look inside. Focus on you. Focus where you need to love yourself, where you need to value yourself, where you need to see how attractive you are. Everyone has gifts. Everyone is beautiful. And when you allow yourself to be that and focus that energy on you, it will then be reflected in the external world, in the tangible world. It will be manifested. So So again, it's not an instant thing, especially if you have a history of wanting a specific person and it not happening. Realize that there's things that these people could be representing, and once you clear these 3 barriers out, then go back. Use the law of assumption. Use living in the end of Neville Goddard. And start visualizing before you go to bed and as you wake up, what it would feel like, how it would be, how would you move in the world. Use those times to really start changing how you see yourself in this world, and you will be able to create the desire in which you want. Also realize that as you move these 3 blocks, it could be you realize that person isn't who you want. You'll have to let them go. You'll have to let that go, and if the universe, to create space, because if you're trying to get them over here and you're trying to manipulate them and control them, even in a very innocent way, it's still manipulation and control. You're trying to have an impact on what they do. You're trying to like, oh, let me just scurry them to me. You have to let that go. Be you. Send out your broadcast, allow it to be reflected back in the world, and if the universe, if that is in alignment, it will automatically come to you. The Course in Miracles says nothing real can ever be threatened. So if this is the person, if this is the one who will help enrich and expand you, and y'all will both live in a higher quality, higher vibration in life, you letting them go and releasing control, moving through these 3 barriers and seeing who they really are and what reflection they are in your life, that is the only way to truly see if they are in alignment with you, and go forward from there. Because when you allow the universe to do what it needs to do, you will be blown away at how much better your experience is than you could have first imagined, because you have an imagination of what it would be like to be with this person. I guarantee if you let it go, maybe it is this person. And maybe the universe has something even better in store for you. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, hit like. It helps spread this message more. Hit subscribe if you haven't done already, and I will see you on the next one.